Okay, we are now streaming live. We are on the record for this afternoon's criminal docket, July 22nd, 2021. And like I stated before, we're on the record. We are already experiencing some heavy rain in my area. And so the lights are flickering. So if I lose you, we may have to reset you administratively. So let's get started. Mr. Kelly McInnes.
Good afternoon, Judge. I'm here on docket number 36 and 37, Prisciliano Herrera, cause number CR 16-14095I and CR 18-07042-I. Mr. Herrera requires the services of a translator. Judge, this is intended to be a plea on both of the cases. However, an issue has come up. We've just gotten our bust down packet together, and one of the things we noticed is that they disqualify people who have been in an accident, and one of these DWIs involved a rear ending. What I'd like to do, Your Honor, is reset this and get that cleared by the bust down people. And if they're good with it, then we'll submit the paperwork. If they're not good with it, then we'll just ask for a trial.
Okay, and Mr. McInnes, how much time are you asking for?
Judge, let's at least 2 to 3 weeks, Judge. Give me time to get back and forth with Mr. Gonzalez in the DA's office.
Okay. Yes.
I would suggest that he submit, I'm not sure if I understood correctly. I would suggest he submit the application, and once it's in, then we can take, reconsideration of it. An accident does not disqualify a person. It's just if there's restitution owed, then they will need to pay upfront before being placed on the PTD program.
Insurance covered all the damages, so there was no restitution.
And we'll verify that, Judge, but if we can start with an application being submitted, it would be best.
We'll get that on file, Your Honor, here shortly. The court gives us a couple of weeks to let them decide whether we're going to be granted that or not.
Okay, Ms. Soto, do you show who Mr. Herrera has a device with?
Yes, Judge, he has a garden interlock and no violations.
Okay. Okay, let me see if I got my translator back. She had lost power. Ms. Castañeda, are you back on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you please let Mr. Herrera know to return on August the 19th at 1:30.
Mr. Herrera, su próxima corte es el 19 de agosto a la 1:30 de la tarde.
That's all we have, Judge. May we be excused?
You certainly may. Ms. Castañeda, please let Mr.
Thank you,
Herrera
Judge.
know that he is excused.
Mr. Herrera, se puede retirar.
Gracias.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay. Attorney
Thank you,
Victoria
Judge.
Flores.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I have number 44 and number 43 on your docket.
Okay, CR 18-15405-I and CR 19-15623-I, the state of Texas versus Juan Mondragon. Is Mr. Mondragon present?
He should be on, Judge. I just got off the phone with him right before I logged on.
Mr. Mondragon, are you present?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, take your sunglasses off your head, sir. Okay, and your cap. There you go. And what is your announcement, counselor?
Your Honor, we're just asking for additional time. I did speak to Mr. Mondragon shortly before court this afternoon. He did raise some concerns and, does not wish to plea. So we just need additional time to review the case with him and possibly set this either for a suppression or a trial, Judge.
Okay, and Ms. Soto, do we have an update on his mobile monitoring device?
Judge, he has his mobile device with sober, it says, and he had 2 missed tests, which happened on July the 1st and July the 2nd, Judge.
Mr. Mondragon, we've already been through this. You had already been admonished for the second time for late and missed tests. This is your 3rd time. And
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
not gonna put up with that. Do you
Yes, ma'am.
understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
You are to pay Mothers Against Drunk Drivers $200 within the next 7 days.
I can't hear you, ma'am.
You are to pay Mothers Against Drunk Drivers $200 within the next 7 days. And the next time you will be taken into custody. And how much time are you needing, Ms. Flores?
A month, if the court could give me that, 30 days.
Okay, August the 19th at 1:30.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I
And
have.
in case he couldn't hear, call him and let him know that he has to get that in within 7 days.
I will, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, is that all?
Yes, Your Honor, may I be excused?
You certainly may. Okay, I started losing some people. Okay, Attorney Richard Gonzalez?
Good afternoon, Judge. I have number 32 on the docket.
Okay, that is CR 21028083-I, the state of Texas versus Deanna Kraft. Is Ms. Kraft present?
She is not present, Your Honor. I usually have had pretty good conversations with Ms. Kraft, Judge. However, I've lost touch with her probably for about the last 2 weeks. I have been reaching different phone numbers. I got in touch with one of her family members today, Your Honor. They did inform me that Ms. Kraft had moved from Texas to Kentucky. I informed them that she had court today, and they were going to try to get in touch with her, but I have not heard from Ms. Kraft, Your Honor. This case was set for a plea today. I do have the plea documents. I would just ask, Your Honor, if the court would refrain from taking an eyesight and give me about 2 weeks to bring her in to get a plea done. If not, I totally understand.
Okay, so I don't recall at the last hearing, she was present and I gave this date in her presence or not? Do you remember?
I know she was present. No, she
It's
may
okay.
not have been present, Your Honor.
If you don't recall.
I
Okay,
don't recall that.
I'll go ahead and extend that courtesy to you this time. And I'm gonna reset you to August the 19th at 1:30 to
Okay.
see if you can get in touch with her and have her sign off on that paperwork.
I'll get it done, Judge. I've got a couple of different numbers that I'm going to try to utilize, but I should have everything ready to go by that date.
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
you certainly may.
Thank you, Judge. You have a great rest of the day.
Thank you likewise. Attorney Andre Maldonado,
Good afternoon, Judge.
good afternoon.
I have number 49 on the court's docket, State versus Itzel Sandoval, CR 19-14824I. She should be present, Judge.
Ms. Sandoval, are you present?
Yes.
Okay, please turn on your camera. Okay, and what is your announcement, counselor?
Judge, I believe the state has an announcement on this case.
Mr. Wind?
Yes, Judge. The defendant had complied with all the requirement for the ADR. Now we just need to do the final background check, make sure everything's good, then we'll dismiss it administratively.
Okay, and how much time do you need for the dismissal?
Probably couple weeks, Judge.
Okay, I'm gonna set a tickler for August the 6th to see if it's been dismissed by that time. Okay, so Ms. Sandoval, you do not appear on that day. All it is a reminder for the court to look to see if they filed a dismissal against you. It'll be done administratively, which means that they will forward the order to me and I will sign off on it, okay?
Okay.
Okay, is that all, Mr. Maldonado?
Nothing further, Judge. May my client and I be excused?
You certainly may, sir.
Thank you. Have a good one, Judge.
Likewise, okay, Attorney Alberto Osorio?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir, doing well.
Good. Judge, I'm here on number 58 on the court's criminal docket, State of Texas versus Michelle Rodriguez, cause number CR-1806526-I. Your Honor, Judge, I do believe I did see her logged on, Judge, so she should be on.
Okay, Ms. Rodriguez, can you please announce yourself? Michelle Rodriguez,
Come on.
do you want an opportunity to contact her?
Yes, Judge. I'm sorry about that. I see her on the list of participants is logged on, Your Honor, but I don't know if she's turned on her volume, but if I could just have them.
She's not on here anymore.
No? Okay, Judge, I'm sorry about that. Let me, if I can just have a brief moment so I can try to reach out to her.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Duvernay, what do you have? You're on mute, Ms. Duvernay?
Unmute. Good afternoon, Your Honor. I have a number 16, 17, and 18. Have an arraignment for Jose Ricardo Juarez, and he's here. I just saw him.
Okay. Is he still in custody?
No, he's not. We're here for an arraignment.
Okay. And so he's ready for arraignment then?
Correct.
Okay. Mr. Jose Ricardo Juarez. Jose Ricardo Juarez, can you please announce yourself?
Probably on mute. I just saw him right now.
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, Mr. Juarez, we're gonna take you up momentarily, okay?
Okay.
I'll recall you when, Mr. Bernay, when we're getting all of the defendants together.
No problem. Thank you, Your
Okay.
Honor.
Okay, Mr. Osorio, your client has logged in.
Okay, great.
I'm going to recall CR 1806526-I, the state of Texas versus Michelle Rodriguez. Ms. Rodriguez, please put your video on and unmute yourself.
Hello.
Okay, and what is your announcement, counselor?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Judge, from the last time we were in court, Ms. Rodriguez has indeed gotten the mobile device. I do believe my office has e-filed it as the receipt as proof to the court, Your Honor, that she indeed got it installed as ordered by the court. So with that being said, Your Honor, at this point, I'm just respectfully asking for a jury trial date, Judge.
Okay, Ms. Soto, do you have who Ms. Rodriguez has her device with?
Yes, Judge, she installed her mobile device with SoberSense on July the 9th, 2021, Judge. But she does have some alcohol readings on July the 18th, 2021. At 8:03 a.m., it was a 0.08.
Okay, so Ms. Rodriguez, you had not even had the device for 9 days when you tested positive for alcohol, which was at or above the legal limit, ma'am. So, and that was at 8:03 a.m. Do you understand that is also a violation of your bond condition?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, I'm having issues with it. I just got off of work a little while ago.
No, the issue is that you tested positive for an alcohol reading, ma'am. That's the issue. That has nothing to do with the device.
No. I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about the logging in right now because I know I was taking a little bit to reply back to you.
Okay, so I'm going to, Mr. Osorio,
Yes, Judge.
she didn't even last 9 days, sir. Not even 9 days. And she already tested positive for alcohol. I can't have that. Because she's a danger to everybody on this screen and everybody in the community.
I understand that, Judge.
So I'm gonna order her to Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm gonna order her to pay Mothers Against Drunk Drivers $200 within the next 7 days. And then I'm gonna order, I understand that she wants a trial setting, but I'm gonna order a status hearing on August the 19th at 9:30 a.m. to monitor her device and whether or not she has any violations. And I'm gonna tell you something, Ms. Rodriguez. I take this very seriously. It doesn't matter to me whether or not another court sets status hearings just to check whether or not you have violations. This court will. Some may call it babysitting. I call it easing my own conscience. So I'm gonna have you come before me on August the 19th. Between now and then, if your probation officer tells me that you have any violations, you will report on the 19th in person, ready to turn yourself in, ma'am. This is your last opportunity. Do you understand me?
Yes.
What is your phone number?
Area code 956-685-0556.
Judge, if I may,
Yes.
this is a 2018 DWI with a BAC over a 0.15, Judge. It's been getting reset after reset, and they're barely asking for trial. I would give a deadline, and she is a PTD candidate. So if there's no application submitted by August 19th, she will not be reconsidered for PTD at any point, and it'll just be left on the trial docket.
Your Honor, and the thing is, we had initially tried to do the PTD, but she moved, Your Honor. She doesn't live in the valley, so going through the whole PTD program doesn't seem feasible with her living outside Hidalgo County, Your Honor. That's why
We have several participants that don't live here in the valley. They actually, well, with COVID, they were reporting through the phone, so it would have even been easier. If that changes due to, you know, vaccination and all of that stuff, she would need to just report in person once a month. And Soto can correct me if I'm wrong.
I understood, or I thought maybe I'm confusing her with someone else, and Ms. Rodriguez had returned back to Hidalgo County. Where are you living, Ms. Rodriguez?
Mom, I live in Westlaco. It's not that I moved, it's that I travel for my job. I've been with the same company for over a year. That was the only issue. I know that we have been trying for the program and everything, which was, I had submitted everything that I had needed to maybe over a year and a half ago before all of the COVID and everything happened. So I know that that postponed it and it became a little bit more difficult with it. If I mean, if it's once a month and all of that, like that's completely fine. But it's just because of that fact that I'm on the road more than ever being home.
Ms. Rodriguez, I'm gonna be real honest with you. You're not even gonna make it. You can apply for the program, and even if you get accepted, you're not gonna make it. What you've indicated to this court and the couple of times that you've been in front of me is that you simply just don't care. You don't care about what's gonna happen to you because the consequences that you've been reaping doesn't seem to faze you. So you're welcome to apply for the PTD program, and hopefully you do get accepted. And I really hope that you prove me wrong. I hope you prove me wrong. But until that time comes, you're going to stay on that alcohol monitoring device, and I'm going to continue to monitor you, because the last thing that I need is for you to go out and kill someone. Because apparently, even though you have a mobile monitoring device and you're supposed to be blowing into that device, it doesn't faze you. You think you can still party. You think you can still drink. And not only does your alcohol violation come in as an alcohol violation, it comes in at the legal limit. You're drunk. At 8:03 in the morning, you're drunk. You're legally drunk. That's irresponsible. So you go ahead and apply. And I hope you prove me wrong. And I challenge you to prove me wrong. But at this point, I just don't see that you're going to make it. You need to care enough about yourself to try to close this chapter and do something positive for your life, ma'am. You have to care enough to do that. There has to be somebody in your life that you love enough that you want to change for. Focus on that. Just to recap, you do have that fine that you owe for $200 to Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. You're to get that in within 7 days, ma'am. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
It's yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll see you on August the 19th, Mr. Osorio. I'm going to pull her report prior to then if she has any violations. I will see her in person.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
And just a reminder, her PTD packet will have to be submitted prior to that deadline.
Yes, Your Honor. I wrote that down. I made a note to myself. Thank you, Judge. Judge, and that's all I have before this honorable court. May I be excused?
You certainly may.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Ms. Lozano.
Okay, Jorge Luis Ortegon.
Good afternoon, Judge. How you doing today?
Good afternoon, sir.
Your Honor, I'm here. My client is next to me, Your Honor. This is CR 17-10948I, the state of Texas versus Jesus Orlando Castro, Your Honor.
And what number is that on the court's docket, sir?
I apologize, Your Honor. I don't have that.
Okay, it's, yes, number 31. And Mr. Castro, is he English speaking or Spanish speaking?
He speaks English, Your Honor.
Okay, and what is the update for me as to the restitution?
He went to go pay it, Judge, but he had it in cash. They sent him way because it needed to be a money order. He brought that into my office today. I'm gonna go pay that hopefully before the end of the week, Judge. And then by that time, I should get the paperwork from the state, bring them in so we can get them placed by the next setting.
Okay, and Ms. Soto, do we have a report on his alcohol monitoring device?
Yes, Judge, he has his mobile device with safety check from the last court hearing till yesterday, Judge. He's had 8 late tests and 10 missed tests.
8 late tests and 10 missed tests.
When?
Mr. Castro, you have, since I admonished you the last time, sir, for an alcohol violation, and now you have 8 late tests and 10 missed tests. Are you having an issue with the testing window?
No, ma'am. It's
Then
probably
you should,
morning, but no, I'm having no issue.
I asked him before court, Judge, and he goes, no, everything's been going good.
if Ms. Soto, is it possible to send those dates over to Mr. Orlon?
I will email to him, Judge.
Okay, I'm gonna let Mr. Castro, this is the second time that I'm having to admonish you. You are to pay a fine to Mothers Against Drunk Drivers and the amount of $200 within the next 7 days, sir.
Your Honor, he'll definitely get that done. Could we have maybe a little bit later reset, maybe a 30-day reset for placement onto the PTD program? Because I know that he came up with the 250. Now he's working on coming up with the 500 to be placed into the program. And of course, now we have the new fine that he's going to have to pay. Maybe if we can get 30 days to go ahead and get him placed on the PTD program, Your Honor.
August 31st at 1:30.
That is ample time, Judge. We appreciate that. That's all we have with this honorable court. May we be excused?
Mr. Castro, I'm gonna tell you right now, between now and that date of August the 31st, if you have any alcohol violations, any late tests, any missed tests, I will not accept your placement into the PTD program. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
So your attorney is going to get a copy of those late tests and the missed tests. If you have some kind of misconception or misunderstanding of what constitutes a proper test, then I suggest that you go and visit your provider and ask the provider to give you a lesson on that. Because even if you get placed on the program, sir, if you miss a test, if a test is late, it is considered a skip test and that's considered a violation and you will be removed from the program, sir. Okay.
Again, Your Honor. And the Mothers Against Drunk Driving, that's paid at the probation department?
I will provide you with the information. I will email it to you.
Thank you so much. OrtegonLaw.com.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else, sir?
Nothing with this honorable court, Judge. May my client and I be excused?
Yes, you certainly may.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Arredondo, do you think that putting a heart as a reaction button is gonna get you first?
I was looking for a peace sign, Judge. Sorry about that. It won't.
You're looking for a peace sign because did your client mess up and you're looking for peace or what?
No, Judge. No. We're ready. We're set for a bench trial, Judge.
Okay. Yes, let me take you out momentarily, okay? I will wear that. Okay, thank you. Mr. Orlando Garcia. You're on mute, Mr. Garcia?
Excuse me. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir. How can I help you?
I'm here on behalf of Nettie Macias, number 19 on the court's criminal docket, CR 20-02988I.
Okay, and is Miss Nettie Macias present?
Mr. Macias is present, Your Honor.
Okay, I apologize. Mr. Macias, are you present?
I'm right here.
Okay, thank you, sir. And what is your announcement, counselor?
Judge, we need a trial date in this. We plan to file some motions, but I think we could take that up later. Right now, we just need a trial date for a jury trial.
Okay. Does he still have his felonies pending?
He does, Your Honor.
And are they all filed already?
I am not representing him on those cases, so I don't know the exact status of those, Your Honor.
Okay, can the state tell me about if his felonies have already been filed?
There's one still at intake, Judge, the other one for on free trial.
Okay, and when is that pretrial setting?
Let me see. August 10th, Judge.
Okay. Okay, then at this time, I'm not giving trial settings, Mr. Garcia. I'm not prepared to give those dates yet. We're gonna have a better update, I believe, on Tuesday's Board of Judges meeting as to how we're going to handle that. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you a late September setting on September the 30th, and I'm gonna set it for a status
Very well, Judge.
at 9:30. And he is now obviously out on bond.
Correct.
Okay. So, and he also, are you representing him on resisting arrest, search or transport?
No, I believe that's
Ms. Regalado?
Lucia. Yes, Judge.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and reset that one to September 30th as well, so they stay together at 9:30 a.m. for a status. And we'll go ahead and notify Ms. Regalado of that.
Very well, Judge. That's all I have. May I be excused?
You certainly may. Mr. Macias, we'll see you then, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, Attorney Jorge Munoz.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon, sir.
Judge, I have number 30 on the court docket, Osvaldo Castañeda. It's a PTD POM placement, Judge.
Okay, and it's ready?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, then we're gonna take you up momentarily. Mr. Osvaldo Castañeda, are you present?
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, there you are. Okay, does the state show that all the paperwork, that they are in receipt of all the paperwork?
Judge, I haven't received all the paperwork back on that one.
Okay, Mr. Munoz, the state does not have, is not showing the paperwork in their possession.
Okay.
Do you know what date you all submitted it?
You actually just signed them this morning, Judge, so we emailed them shortly after that.
They probably haven't been accepted yet. I can give you a short reset to August the 5th at 1:30.
Sure, that's fine, Judge. That'll work.
Okay, August 5th at 1:30, and that should give them time to review it and accept it.
Perfect. That'll work, Judge. May he be excused? May I be excused, Judge?
Yes, you both may be excused.
Thank you.
Okay, Attorney Jessica De Luna?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jessica De Luna here on 10, 11, and 12 on your case. Aaron James Bassan, I believe he's currently incarcerated, Your Honor.
Okay, and is he ready for arraignment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and are we doing a plea on the harassment, on one of the harassments, or we're not moving forward with that today?
We're not moving forward with that today, Your Honor. I'm hoping, I believe I received a rec from the prosecutors that I need to speak to my client about, but at this time we are ready for arraignment, Your Honor.
Okay. Then I'm gonna take you up just shortly. Let me just go through the pending announcements.
Your Honor, I just have one question prior to proceeding. As far as, would the court take up a oral motion for bond reduction at this time, or would that be something we need to file paperwork wise?
No, I will take up an oral motion for bond reduction at the time.
Okay.
Right before we do the arraignments, I'll go ahead and take up that issue.
Okay, I will go ahead and just wait here, Your Honor.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Ms. Garza, Alma Garza?
Good afternoon, Judge. Judge, I'm here on number 42 on your docket.
Okay. Number 42?
No, 34.
Okay.
34.
CR 206106-I and CR 206105-I, the state of Texas versus Daniel Garcia.
Yes, Judge, he's here, present in my office, Judge. On this case, the prosecutor and I are working on a plea, but we need to finish out some little details on the plea that he has. We're asking for a little bit of time, and I know the prosecutor is in agreement with me.
Okay, did you need more than August the 5th?
I don't think so.
Because you want to do August the 5th at 1:30 or August the 19th at 1:30?
The 5th.
Okay. Then we'll reset you to August the 5th at 1:30 on both of those cases then.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Luna, Ruben Luna? What do you have, sir?
Have a plea, Judge number 29 in the court's docket ready for court's consideration.
And it's ready?
It is, Judge.
Okay, perfect. Mr. Gregorio Trevino, what do you have, sir?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Number 47 and number 48, Your Honor. Mr. Jaime Rodriguez. This is a case that I finally got all the information together for a PTD, Your Honor. If you can just give me another week or two, I'll submit the application.
Okay, so in light of the departure of Mr. Viescas, now the state is going to anticipate in taking about 60 days with reviewing those apps. So are you just going to turn it in now that you have all the information?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Rodriguez provided me the most recent insurance and copy of his driver's license. So
Okay.
He's already done that, and I'm ready to submit.
Okay, so then what I'm doing is I'm giving a setting of September the 28th. And that should
All right,
be
Your
okay.
Honor. Thank
But
you very
what I'm
much,
gonna-
Your Honor.
What I'm gonna do, Mr. Trevino, is because
Yes.
there's no guarantee between now and then they're gonna review and accept it, I'm gonna set you as a status at 9:30. If you've been
Very
accepted,
well.
let us know and we'll change you to 1:30.
Very well, Your Honor.
Mr. Jaime Rodriguez, are you present? Jaime Rodriguez.
Mr. Rodriguez is on here. He is on.
Okay, which one is he?
I see Jaime's iPhone, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
There's a Jaime's iPhone.
Is he Spanish speaking, Mr. Trevino?
Spanish, Your Honor, yes.
Okay, Ms. Castañeda, can you see if Mr. Rodriguez can unmute himself?
Mr. Jaime Rodríguez, ¿le puede quitar el volumen, la bocina, el micrófono?
Sí, los escucho.
I can hear you.
Okay, let him know to return on September the 28th at 9:30.
Mr. Rodríguez, su próxima corte es el 28 de septiembre a las 9:30 de la mañana.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you then, Mr. Trevino.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I get excused, Your Honor? That's all I have.
You certainly may. Mr. Lozano, what do you have, sir?
15 and 14. I stated numerically like that because the higher number was put first, actually.
Okay, so you have Jose Iracheta?
That's correct.
Okay, and is he here for arraignment today?
Well, Your Honor, I tried to inform you a bit earlier when you asked for a quick announcement that I'm not certain about it.
About his mental health, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So have you had an opportunity to, let me see, Mr. Iracheta, can you unmute yourself? Is he English speaking or Spanish speaking, sir?
Spanish speaking, Your Honor. He's at a bond office, is my understanding.
Mrs. Castañeda, okay, can you ask Mr. Iracheta if he can hear us?
Mr. Iracheta, ¿nos escucha?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, so what are you requesting, Mr. Lozano?
Well, I believe he needs to get a psychiatric examination. So I'm not trained in that field. So I think we need somebody like an expert to examine him.
Okay, so what is it that makes you feel that he is possibly mentally incompetent?
Well, I think if we remain here a little bit longer, he's probably going to accuse you of trying to poison him, as he accuses a lot of other people, among other things, Your Honor.
Okay, so Ms. Castañeda, ask Mr. Iracheta if any court has ever declared him to be mentally insane.
Mr. Iracheta,
¿Dónde?
¿alguna corte lo ha declarado alguna vez? ¿Lo ha declarado alguna vez loco, mental, competente o demente?
Nunca.
Never.
Okay, ask him if he feels that he is competent to proceed with his arraignment hearing today.
¿Usted se siente capaz de seguir con el procedimiento de hoy?
¿Mande?
¿Usted se siente con la capacidad de seguir con el procedimiento de hoy?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Lozano, do you feel comfortable in continuing to represent him, or do you want me to appoint someone else?
Well, I feel comfortable in representing him. I don't, I think he was in a facility over the weekend. JP ordered him to go to a mental hospital here in the Valley.
Okay.
And
He's shaking his head no. Ms. Castañeda, please ask Mr. Iracheta if there's something that he wants to address the court with.
Yes.
Okay, do you understand English, Mr. Iracheta?
A little.
Okay, do you prefer speaking Spanish?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you that, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to address the court, but speak slow and in part so that it can be translated onto the record, okay? Okay, you may speak.
Es que yo no quería que me representara el señor Ron Lozano porque se me hace incompetente como abogado.
I don't want Mr. Ron Lozano to represent me because I think he's incompetent.
En pocas palabras, no da la talla.
No escuché eso, ¿qué dijo?
Que no es el abogado apropiado que yo quería para mi caso porque él le quedó muy grande el caso. Es incompetente, pues.
Your Honor, may I address that?
De mí cuando fue al condado Hidalgo nomás se fue a decirme que nomás lo que me dijo fue que no conversara con nadie porque unos un día eran amigos y otro día eran enemigos. Y de ahí no volvió a irme a mirar durante todo el tiempo que estuve allí, que fueron como 12 días o 13.
Ok.
Y además hasta ahorita le estoy viendo otra vez la cara que tiene.
Okay, hold
May
on.
I speak now, Your Honor?
I need for the translator to translate what he said for the record.
All right.
I think this case is too big for Mr. Lozano. I think he's incompetent. Your Honor, I would need for him to repeat the next part.
It's okay. What he said, and I'll take the liberty, is just that in synopsis is that he was visited and hasn't seen him since, but I'll allow Mr. Lozano to respond.
His family came by this past Friday, and they're all in accord that he has these mental issues, and that's why they had gone to that JJ Pena and gotten the judge to sign off and commit him. Apparently, the COVID pandemic has really affected his family. As an example, his father passed away, and I believe the following day his stepmother passed away, and then a short period, maybe of a month, elapsed, and then his mother passed away from the COVID-19. And this was in a foreign country, and apparently he was present for one of the fatality or deaths, and I do think that those kind of issues have affected him.
Okay, well,
And
he
so do
just to
his
make
brother.
it
His brother.
just to
His
make
brother
it
works for.
also for you, just because, you know, sometimes it just doesn't work out, and maybe it'll save you a headache. But I'll go ahead and allow for you to be removed from this case, and I'll appoint another attorney to it, and then that way you can. There won't be any animosity between the two of you all.
Well, Your Honor, in that regard, I have spent some time because I think he's inaccurate on a couple of things, but like, I don't know, you want to hear anything further, but can I submit a voucher for the time that I placed on the case?
Yes, you can submit a voucher for the time that you've already worked on.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have then.
Who's next? I'm sorry.
Judge, the defendant also has another POM at Jones right now.
Okay, so Ms. Rivera, who do we have next on the wheel?
Yes, ma'am, it's Victoria Guerra.
Okay, Mr. Irachata, please, Ms. Castañeda, please let him know that his new attorney is Victoria Guerra.
Su nueva abogada se llama Victoria Guerra.
And that the information will be sent to her so that she can contact him soon.
Y se le va a mandar la información de usted a ella para que ella se comunique con usted.
Ok, gracias.
And then, once
¿Puede
Ms.
repetir de
Guerra,
vuelta el nombre de la abogada?
Victoria Guerra.
Victoria Guerra.
Once Ms. Guerra has an opportunity to meet with him, then I don't know if she, Ms. Guerra, can you hear me? I didn't realize she was on here. Okay. Once she has an opportunity to meet with him, she can see if she's gonna file a waiver of arraignment for him. So for now, we'll go ahead and reset him for August the 26th. And since it's for arraignment, I'll go ahead and keep it at 1:30. Please let Mr. Irachata know to return on August the 26th at 1:30.
Mr. Iracheta, su próxima corte es el 26 de agosto a la 1:30 de la tarde.
Ok.
Okay.
Okay.
Muchas gracias.
And tell him he's excused.
Ya se puede retirar, Mr. Iracheta.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Okay, Attorney Vanessa Flores?
Yes, Your Honor. I have number 45 and 46 on the court's docket.
Okay.
He signed in and signed up for a plea this afternoon.
Okay, so then I'm about to take those up.
Okay.
Okay. And then I had Attorney Carlos Ortegon on, but I think we lost him. Attorney Jose, oh no. Jose Bravo is a defendant. Okay, hold on. I thought it was the attorney Joe Bravo. Okay, Mr. Ortegon, what do you have today?
I have a plea, Your Honor.
Okay. And is that ready to go?
It should be. It's Alexis via Pando.
Okay, does the state have the paperwork? Is it ready to go, Mr. Nguyen?
Yes, Judge, that one's ready to go.
All right. Alexis Villapando, are you present? Alexis Villapando. Okay, Mr. Ortegon, your client is not on and we're getting ready to start the pleas and the arraignments. I don't know if you want your office to contact her or him.
We did, Your Honor. He should be on. Alexis Villapando, are you on Zoom? Please unmute.
No, sir.
Okay, Judge, if I can be momentarily excused.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, Mr. Arredondo, you have number 56 and what other number? 6, right?
I believe I just have number 6, Judge Jairo Lopez, which set for a bench trial, Your Honor.
And then there's a restitution hearing as well.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't have that on my schedule, Judge.
Okay, number 6 and number 56. So let me call CR 18-05208-I, CR 20-04843-I, the state of Texas versus Jairo Lopez. Is Mr. Lopez present?
Yes, Your
Honor.
Okay, I'm sorry. Mr. Lopez. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
And what are the announcements from the attorneys?
Judge, we're ready for a bench trial, Judge.
Judge, we asked if you could call the victim's name.
Okay, and what is the name?
The name is Kenneth Trevino.
I'm sorry?
Kenneth Trevino?
Kenneth Trevino?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, Kenneth Trevino. Kenneth Trevino, Kenneth Trevino. Okay, the name has been called out 3 times and no response.
Judge, the state requested a motion for continuance so that we reach out to the victim.
Judge, at this time, Judge, the defense is objecting, Judge, to the state's motion, Your Honor. They filed, the subpoena has been filed, Judge, earlier this month. They've had a few months, Judge, to go to They've had a few attempts, Judge, in the past months. They never made contact with the victim, with the alleged victim, Judge. At this time, we're asking for a dismissal.
Okay. And Mr. Nguyen, on the restitution, is that the same victim?
No, Judge. Let me get that one. They're different victims, Judge.
Okay. So on CR 1805208-I, the state of Texas versus Jairo Lopez for the offense of assault causing bodily injury, a class A misdemeanor. The state was not able to locate the witness and is asking for more time in consideration of defense counsel's arguments. The court is going to deny the request for a continuance, and how will the state proceed?
Judge, having that our request for continuance be denied, state request dismissal, we'll dismiss this administratively.
Okay, and then it'll be dismissed administratively, and I will set a tickler for August the 6th to see if it's already been done. Okay, on CR 20-04843-I, the state of Texas versus Jairo Lopez on the offense of accident involving a damage to a vehicle greater than $200, a class B misdemeanor. What is the restitution on this?
Judge, the state request that the restitution be set to 0 for both defendants.
At 0?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, and that'll be accepted. Mr. Arredondo, are you representing him on that matter as well?
Yes, Judge. We played him out. We played him out, Judge.
Okay. So then that'll be set at 0. Okay.
Thank you, Judge. And that's all I have. May I be excused?
You certainly may, Mr. Lopez. Best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Great day, Judge.
So then this is what I'm going to have for a plea. I need for you to please listen up. It's either a plea or an arraignment. And that's those that are present with their attorneys at this time. Okay. I'm going to have Aaron James Basan, deputy. Please have them brought up to the front. Aaron James Basan. Okay, and I'm also gonna have Jose Ricardo Juarez brought up to the screen, deputy, please.
We don't have Juarez on our list, Your Honor.
Oh, is Mr. Juarez? Oh, he's out on bond. Okay.
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Juarez, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and Ms. Duvernay, is it an arraignment on all 3 of his cases?
It's on 2 of them, Your Honor, the second DWI, the POM. He's been arraigned on the first case, which is number 16
Okay.
previously.
Okay. And then. Enrique Rodriguez, can you hear me, sir? Okay, unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry about that.
Okay, that's fine. And then Mark Anthony Vasquez.
Yes.
Okay. Make sure you keep yourself unmuted.
Your Honor, Victoria Guerra represents the process. We're present and ready for a plea.
Yes. Okay, so, and then the other ones we are missing at this time. Okay. I need for you all to listen very carefully. The questions that I'm going to ask you, I'll let you know whether they're yes or no, okay? And then if you don't understand something, you need to make sure that you ask, because I cannot have you enter into something Okay, I'm sorry, Ms. Rivera, what are you asking me?
Judge, you're gonna go forward with please?
Sorry?
You're going forward with please?
We are on please right now, yes.
Yes, Judge, my internet was in and out. I'm not sure if you caught number 21 or 29. I apologize.
Number 29, his attorney's not here. Oh, I'm sorry, Ruben Luna. I'm looking at number 20. Yes, I did not. Thank you. Pamela Cantu. Pamela Cantu. Can you hear me, Pamela? Ms. Cantu?
She's online, Judge.
Yes, but she needs to respond.
Hello?
Need for you to turn the camera to your face. Okay. Go ahead and unmute Ms. Cantu. Okay. Okay. If you're driving, please pull over, ma'am.
No, I'm not driving. Somebody else is driving.
Okay. Okay, oh, I saw that Alexis Villapando, did we got off again? Okay. So, thank you, Ms. Rivera. If I missed you, so please raise your right hand. If I call out your name, please raise your right hand. Mr. Vasquez, you have your hand raised. Mr. Rodriguez, you have your hand raised. Mr. Juarez, you have your hand raised. Okay. Pamela, please raise your hand. Okay, do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Basan, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Juarez, yes or no?
Yes.
Ms. Du, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Vasquez, I'm sorry, Mr. Rodriguez, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Vasquez, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. You may lower your hands. In class number CR 21-07865-I and CR 21-07866-I in the state of Texas versus Aaron James Basan. Is that your true and correct name, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
In CR 21-07174-I, CR 21-07175-I in the state of Texas versus Jose Ricardo Juarez. Is that your true and correct name, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
In CR 18411-I in the state of Texas versus Pamela Cantu. Is that your true and correct name, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
In CR 20-03181-I and CR 20-07338-I, the state of Texas versus Enrique Rodriguez. Is that your true and correct name, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
In CR 21-11973-I, CR 21-11907-I, CR 21-11906-I, CR 21-175-I, CR 21-1784-I, in the state of Texas versus Mark Anthony Vasquez. Is that your true and correct name, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Basan, you're before the court charged with a criminal trespass, a Class B misdemeanor, and a harassment offense, a Class B misdemeanor. Mr. Jose Ricardo Juarez, you are before the court charged with a driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor, and a possession of marijuana of less than 2 ounces, a Class B misdemeanor. Ms. Cantu, you are before the court charged with the theft of property of greater than $100, but less than $750, a Class B misdemeanor. Mr. Rodriguez, you are before the court charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor, and a possession of a controlled substance, PG3, less than 28 grams, a Class A misdemeanor. Mr. Mark Anthony Vasquez, you are before the court with 2 charges of possession of a controlled substance, PG2-A, of greater than 2 ounces, a Class B misdemeanor. 2 charges of possession of controlled substance, a PG3, greater than 28 grams, a Class A misdemeanor. And an additional charge of possession of a controlled substance, PG2A, greater than 2 ounces, a Class B misdemeanor. For those defendants, a Class B misdemeanor. and Carapy. A Class B misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. For those defendants with a Class A misdemeanor, that carries a potential penalty of up to 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Do each of you understand the range of punishment that you can receive for the offense of which you are charged? Mr. Basan, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Juarez, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Cantu, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Rodriguez, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Vasquez, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
For those of you that are entering a plea today, you have a right to an attorney, to a trial by jury. You can waive one or both of those rights by signing a written document. At this time, I'm going to ask you if you had an opportunity to review that document with your attorney before signing it. And that would be Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Ms. Cantu,
Yes.
Mr. Vasquez.
Yes.
Okay. And did you understand when you signed that document that you were waiving your right to a trial by jury? Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Cantu,
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
and Mr. Vasquez.
Yes, ma'am.
Then the court will accept your waiver of a trial by jury. This applies to all the defendants. Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane? Yes or no, Mr. Basan?
No, Your Honor.
Yes or no, Mr. Juarez?
No, ma'am.
Yes or no, Ms. Cantu?
No, ma'am.
Yes or no, Mr. Rodriguez?
No, ma'am.
Yes or no, Mr. Vasquez?
No, ma'am.
Then counselors, in speaking with your clients, do you find them to be mentally competent and able to assist you in their own defense? Ms. De Luna?
Yes, Your Honor. And speaking to Mr. Basan, I find him competent and able to assist in this case.
Ms. Duvernay?
Yes, Mr. Juarez is competent, Your Honor.
Mr. Luna?
Yes, Judge.
Your client is competent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Flores?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is competent.
Ms. Guerra?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Vasquez is competent.
Then the court will make a finding that all the defendants before the court are all mentally competent and able to assist their attorneys in their own defense. At this time, the court will enter a plea of not guilty for Mr. Aaron James Basan on each of the offenses that he was arraigned on today. We'll also enter a plea of not guilty for Mr. Jose Ricardo Juarez for each of the offenses of which he was arraigned today.
Judge, if I may.
Yes.
Judge, the state would request Juarez a device.
Okay. Hold on. What are you asking?
Mr. Juarez.
Yes, and I'm gonna get, hold on, I'm first getting to the bond modification that Ms. De Luna is going to ask for Mr. Basan. Okay, so Ms. De Luna, you make your arguments for the lowering of for the lowering of the bond reduction?
Yes, Your Honor. In these cases, Mr. Basan, on the new harassment case has a $5,000 bond, and on the criminal trespass has a $2,500 bond. Your Honor, this is the same alleged victim in the first harassment. However, in this time, Mr. Basan, we are asking to lower the the bond on the harassment in the criminal trespass. Mr. Basan was under the impression that his child was left alone, and was alone at the home. So he actually went over there, I guess, to check in on the child. Obviously that was a mistake. And things got out of hand. CPS had been involved prior to this. So there has been some incidents that he's afraid of, I guess, or concerned of. I am going to speak to him in regards to what he can do in the family law arena or sense. However, he also has now a protective order against him, and he understands that he's not allowed to go over there, and he needs to figure out any family issues that he has through the court in a family law case or through the CPS action.
Anything to say?
Judge, we this case, and she strongly opposed the victim, the defendant being bailed out in any way because she felt her life could be at risk. And I mean, if he's get bailed out, and
Okay, hold on. I didn't hear one word that you said because I'm gonna have to mute the jail because I think that is what's causing the feedback right now. So I'm just gonna mute the jail so that I can get your argument clear on the record. Okay, so go ahead with your response.
Yes, Judge. We reached out to the victim in this case and she strongly opposed the defendant being bailed out in any way. So that's why we opposed to bond reduction, because she feared her life could be at risk. And she said that he was bailed out on the previous harassment and he still comes by and harass her. And that's the reason why we're here on the harassment and new harassment.
So, Mr. Luna, on the harassment, the original harassment where he has a cash surety of 5,000, are you asking for all three to be reduced to a PR bond or?
Yes, Your Honor. The initial one, I believe you had reduced it to a PR bond, if I'm not mistaken. It was in combination with the burglary of vehicle. However, that vehicle was his vehicle, and we had expressed that to the court.
And he had provided proof of the ownership. Is that correct?
Judge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge, we also requested the defendant be screened for a mental health court, so it'd be easier for him to be screened while he's still in jail.
Well, let me tell you. So it seems that she has the protection that she needs with a protective order. He already has a protective order against him at this time. And I certainly know how things can get out of hand with family matters. And I think, and also Ms. Luna, can you tell me, is he already he's on AIP already for the first harassment?
No, Your Honor, I don't believe so.
Okay. Are you showing otherwise?
Yes, ma'am, I am, Judge. He was placed on AIP back on the 30th of March. That was a condition of his bond for both the burglary case and the harassment case. The defendant was ordered to participate in AIP and also to have no contact with the alleged victim. And Your Honor signed that order on March the 31st, Judge.
Okay, Ms. Soto, do you show whether or not Mr. Basan had been reporting prior to?
Let me see, Judge. He has, while on AIP, Judge, he has had some violations as far as not being home when they've gone by his house. That was back in June, Judge, and in May.
Okay, so Mr. Luna, the thing is that your client is having an issue with understanding what it means to stay put. But I still don't think that it's enough to have him incarcerated at this time based on the offenses of which are before me. I'm going to grant your request to place him on a PR bond. It'll be a $2,500 PR bond on each, on the criminal trespass and on the harassment. But Mr. Basan, you already have a protective order against you. So any violations of that protective order can still end you up in jail. And now you're being reminded, and this is your first and only warning, that you are on AIP, which means you have to stay put unless you're going to go to work. That's it. It's really working home. And until you get all of this figured out with your attorney, you just need to stay put. No matter how much of an urge you have to want to check up on your child or whether something's going on or not, the only person you're going to hurt is yourself. And I'm not going to keep granting a PR bond and a PR bond and a PR bond to let you out. And then eventually something's going to end up happening, because then that's going to come back on me. So This is it. You need to start complying with your AIP conditions, or else you're gonna end up in that jail cell for a very long time. Do you understand me?
Yes, ma'am. I do have a question, ma'am.
I would
Your Honor,
defer.
I will go speak to him, or get a call or something scheduled with him as soon as possible so I can answer any questions. Mr. Basan, it's best that you and I speak prior to any communications you have, okay?
And just so that you
And
understand, Mr. Basan, the reason also is that we are experiencing overcrowding there at the jail, and I'm sure you've seen it yourself.
Yes.
So this is a nonviolent crime. So I can give a PR bond on that to assist alleviate with the jail crowding. But it doesn't mean that we can't put you back in there.
Okay.
And Your Honor, and just for the court's information, not to relieve him of any responsibility, but on the first, that may have been an oversight on mine. I didn't realize it was AIP and I didn't discuss all that with them fully. However, I will discuss now, although you've already admonished him to stay home, I'll make sure that he understands that he can't be going anywhere.
Okay, I'm gonna set you for a status on all three of those cases for September the 9th at 9:30. And if you end up having a plea on the one that you were gonna do today, then just let us know. We'll set you on a plea docket.
Thank you, Your Honor.
For
I'll
now,
go ahead and
it'll
do
be a
that.
status on all three of those.
And Judge, for the probations, just for the probations notice, he was also in the hospital for a while for a suicide attempt. So that could have, I don't know if those were the days that they went to check on him. He would have been in the hospital at that time.
Okay, well,
Just
you
for the
might
court's
want to
notice,
get
ma'am.
the date. Just in
Yes, ma'am.
case.
I'll
In
make
case
sure to
it
note that
becomes an
and
issue.
get some doctor's notes. Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have. May I be excused today?
Yes, you certainly may. Mr. Basan, best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, on Mr. Jose Ricardo Juarez. Okay, Mr. Juarez, did you obtain your mobile monitoring device 24 hours after your release, sir?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
Okay.
I got the one for the vehicle though.
Oh, you got an interlock.
Yes, they didn't have the handheld one.
Okay, and who did you get that with?
Give me a minute.
Ms. Lopez, did you happen to start showing any reports?
Yes, Judge, he obtained his device with Lifesaver on July the 2nd, 2021, Judge.
Okay, and do you have are you showing anything?
He goes in for his download, Judge, on July the 28th. The day after, I will get the report.
Okay. Okay. Then Ms. Duvernay, I'm gonna give you a status hearing for September the 9th
Hearing was an hour.
September the 9th. Yes,
at 9:30 for all three of the cases.
9:30 a.m. Perfect. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay?
That's all I have for today. May I be excused?
Yes, and Mr. Juarez, let me just let you know, no alcohol violations, no violations of any kind, sir, because I don't look too kindly on that.
No, ma'am, I haven't been drinking at all. I've just been home with COVID. When I got out, released from jail.
You tested positive?
Yes, ma'am. And so I've just been home in quarantine. Just that 1 week that I worked for my current job.
Okay, well, I'm sorry to hear that. So take care of yourself and just be careful because I know they just said that you're due to report on the 28th. However, now that you've announced that, do you have something showing that you tested positive for COVID?
Yes, ma'am. I have the test actually saved on my phone.
Okay.
Send it to my
Go
phone.
ahead and submit that to your attorney, because if for some reason you're not released from quarantine in time to go do that, then you do need to get another date, but you have to let Ms. Soto know.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. I already mentioned it to her about the COVID. I just completely didn't think about sending her the results of the test.
Okay, and what is your phone number, Mr. Juarez?
956-520-1447.
Okay. All right, well then, after you're cleared, then, hopefully everything goes well for you health-wise.
Yes, ma'am. I'm actually gonna go get retested again this tomorrow, and hopefully I get cleared.
Okay, well then we'll go ahead and await those results, and we'll see you back on September the 9th at 9:30.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Your Honor. Have a nice afternoon.
Thank you, likewise. Okay, so we'll continue with the pleas. Now, for Ms. Cantu, Mr. Rodriguez, and Mr. Vasquez, do you understand that if the punishment that I assess does not exceed what's recommended by the state, you will need this court's permission if you decide to file an appeal? Ms. Cantu, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Rodriguez, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Vasquez, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and do you further understand that the court does not have to accept the recommendation of the state? Ms. Cantu, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Rodriguez, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Vasquez, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, I need to ask you, are you a U.S. citizen, Ms. Cantu?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Vasquez?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then in CR 1815411-I, the state of Texas versus Pamela Cantu, to the offense of theft of a property greater than $100 but less than $750, a Class B misdemeanor. How do you plead, ma'am? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
In CR 20-03181-I, the state of Texas versus Enrique Rodriguez, to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor, sir. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
In CR 20-11973-I, the state of Texas versus Mark Anthony Vasquez for possession of controlled substance, a PG2A greater than 2 ounces, a Class B misdemeanor, sir. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
On CR 20-11906-I, the state of Texas versus Mark Anthony Vasquez for possession of controlled substance, a PG3 greater than 28 grams, a Class A misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
On CR 20-11785-I, the state of Texas versus Mark Anthony Vasquez for possession of a controlled substance, PG3 greater than 28 grams, a Class A misdemeanor, sir. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
On, I believe that was the last one. The other one will be dismissed with the plea. Okay. Now, are all,
Others that will be dismissed with the plea.
yes, ma'am, I said that. Okay, are you all pleading guilty freely and voluntarily, Ms. Cantu?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Vasquez?
Yes, ma'am.
Then the court will make a finding that you are making your plea freely and voluntarily and accept your pleas. At this time, I will call for state's evidence.
For all defendant, state offer plea document and offense report as State Exhibit 1, notification and certification of defendant rights of appeal at State Exhibit 2, waiver of Article 39.14 disclosure at State Exhibit 3, waiver of risk and need and assessment at State Exhibit 4, and for Ms. Cantu only, PTV POM packet at State Exhibit 5. And once again, for all defendant, state will request defense counsel stipulate to the venue and jurisdiction of this honorable court, and to stipulate that evidence has been e-filed is sufficient to corroborate the plea guilty.
Okay. Any objections?
No objection to state's exhibits, Your Honor, so agreed and stipulated.
Okay.
As to Mr. Rodriguez, Your Honor, no objection. So agreed and stipulated. As to venue and jurisdiction, further we stipulate that the evidence that the state has presented is sufficient to corroborate the plea of guilty.
Your Honor, we have no objections to the admission of evidence. We agree and stipulate as set forth by the prosecutor.
Okay, there being no objection from defense counsel as to the exhibits are hereby admitted and approved. Please listen carefully. In CR 1815411-I, the state of Texas versus Pamela Cantu, it is a judgment of the court, ma'am, that you are guilty as charged. However, Ms. Cantu, you are asking to be placed on the pretrial diversion program. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
The pretrial diversion program is a contract that you're entering into with the state of Texas, whereby you are agreeing to comply with certain conditions of that program. In exchange, the state is agreeing to dismiss the charges against you upon successful completion of the program. Did you understand the terms and the conditions of that program as they were explained to you by your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything in that program that you cannot realistically meet?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Luna, do you have any questions or requests on behalf of your client, sir?
No, Judge. We just asked that the court follow the recommendation and place her on pretrial diversion, Judge.
Okay, so I had a notation that her PTD fee had been pending. Has that been paid?
It was paid at the last setting, Judge. I believe it was July 1st.
Okay, then the court will accept the state's recommendation, and I will be placing her on on her PTD. And I'm gonna do a 6-month PTD status on January the 20th, 2022 at 9:30. So Ms. Cantu, I'll see you back here on January 20th, 2022 at 9:30.
Okay, all right, thank you. Am I dismissed?
Anything from the state or defense counsel?
No, Judge.
But I'm gonna stake and say it was a PTD and POM, it was a regular PTD for that one. Just want to put that for the record, Judge.
Okay. Yes, it's a regular PTD. Okay, so nothing further. Yes, Ms. Cantu, you are excused, and Mr. Luna, you are also excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You.
Okay, so in CR 20-03181-I, in the state of Texas versus Enrique Rodriguez, it is the judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. What is the state's recommendation?
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Number 45.
55, Judge?
What's your recommendation on Mr. Rodriguez for number 45 on the court's docket, sir?
Yes, let me pull up the Judge. All right, Judge, for CR 20-03181I, the state recommend $400 fine plus court costs, 180 days in the Hidalgo County Jail, probate for 2 years, alcohol education class, interlock ignition device, 90 days driver license suspension, and 40 community service hours. And for CR 20-07338I, will be dismissed with the aforementioned plea.
Okay, Ms. Flores, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we are requesting some consideration on the time given for probation. In this particular case, I know that there is a case that's being dismissed. However, the state is recommending 2 years, so we are asking for any consideration that the court is willing to give on that issue, Your Honor. As far as the mobile alcohol monitoring device, this is a first-time offense. We are also asking that the court waive that particular that particular part of the recommendation. Mr. Rodriguez has been on a device before this honorable court. And then the last request, Your Honor, is just some consideration on the community service hours. Mr. Rodriguez is employed and does work full-time, at times most of the day. And so we're just asking for that from the court.
Okay, Ms. Soto, did Mr. Rodriguez have a device on this?
Judge, he's had his device with Sobersen since October the 20th of 2020, Judge, and I did run his report for the past 30 days, and he did not have any violations, Judge.
And this is his second booking for a DWI?
Yes, Judge. This is he had one in 2018.
Okay. So, and you're asking for consideration instead of 2 years, you want less time for probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then I'm gonna give him 90 days to pay the fine, 90 days to pay the court costs. I'll reduce the probation time to 1 year. He will still have the I'll allow for his 90-day Texas driver's license suspension to run concurrent with any other suspension that he may have active at this time. I will waive his 40 CSR hours in consideration for him having his full-time job, but he will stay on the interlock device. He will have an interlock device and stay on that. Do you have a mobile monitoring device, Mr. Rodriguez, or an interlock?
Yes, ma'am, the mobile one.
Okay, so you do have 0 violations. I don't have an issue if you want to come back in 6 months and ask for a release of that, but you do have to have it at least half the time of your probation period.
Okay.
Okay, and the rest of the recommendation I will follow, so that'll be the order of the court.
Thank you, Your Honor. And there is that other case, the number 46 on the court's docket. That is the case that will be dismissed with this plea.
Yes, ma'am, that is what Mr. Nguyen stated. Okay, so the court will honor that agreement between the state and the defendant.
Thank
Okay.
you, Your Honor. May we be-
Yes, ma'am, you may be excused, and Mr. Rodriguez may also be excused. Oh, Mr. Rodriguez, let me get a phone number for you, sir.
Yes, it's 956-222-0535.
Okay. Thank you, sir, and best of luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good one.
Thank you. In CR 20-11973-I, the state of Texas versus Mark Anthony Vasquez, it is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. In CR 20-11906-I, in the state of Texas versus Mark Anthony Vasquez, it is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. In CR 20-11785-I, the state of Texas versus Mark Anthony Vasquez, it is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. What is the state's recommendation?
Judge, for all 3 cases, CR 20-11973I and for CR 20-11906I and for CR 20-11785I, the state recommend $200 fine plus court costs, 180 days in Hidalgo County Jail, prorated for 14 months, drug education course, 40 community service hours, and the defendant to participate and successfully complete 6 months of Narcotic Anonymous.
Okay, Ms. Guerra, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
This is the first I've ever heard of drug education court. I thought it was drug education classes.
Course.
He said course.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge. That is the agreement that we have, Your Honor. However, I would ask the court to consider the fact that he is working full-time. He works every day, except he has maybe 1 day off a week, and that's it. So I would ask the court to consider that. And that's basically the summation of our request. And the other thing is I would ask that all 3 cases run concurrent. And I'm not sure if that means he has to pay court costs on each and every case and fine on each and every case. I'm not clear about that.
Ms. Soto, Ms. Guerra was asking if they run concurrent. How does that work with his fines and court costs?
And the fines and court costs, Judge, from my understanding, he has to pay for each one. I know for the probation fees, if she asks for the probation fees to be waived on 2 cases, it can be waived on 2 cases and just remain on 1 case.
That's what I would ask, Your Honor.
Okay. So the court will grant your request, allow his 3 sentences to run concurrent, and that the probation fees will be waived on CR 20-11906-I and CR 20-11971-I. You'll have 90 days to pay the fine and 90 days to pay the court costs. In light of him working full-time, I will waive his 40 CSR hours or any of the CSR hours that he is required to do. I believe that takes care of the requests. Mr. Vasquez, what is a phone number that you can be reached, sir?
956-662-3757.
Okay, you're gonna receive a call at the earliest convenience of the probation department, please make sure that you start your Narcotics Anonymous classes as soon as possible, sir.
Judge, if I may,
Yes.
for his other case, CR 2011907I, that will be dismissed with the plea to the CR 2011-906I. And for his CR 2011-784I, that will dismiss with the plea to the CR 2011-785I.
Okay, the court will accept the state's recommendation and will also dismiss those two offenses against Mr. Vasquez in acceptance of the plea of the other cases that he has pending before the court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, anything else, Ms. Guerra?
No, thank you, Mr. Nugent. Y'all have a good afternoon.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Vasquez is excused too?
Yes, Mr. Vasquez is excused.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Vasquez.
Your Honor.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. So, Mr. Reyes? And you're here on number 57 of the court's docket? You're on mute, Mr. Reyes. Mr. Reyes.
I think he's in another court, Judge.
Mr. Lopez.
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon. How can I help you today?
Your Honor, I have a status on the state of Texas versus Juan David Lara Torres. That's number 38. And my client's been, or he is online, but Judge, all I needed to tell you today was that the PTD application with, an attached certificate of completion and a urinalysis receipt was submitted on July 20th.
Okay.
Ms. Padilla.
CR 191303. I'm sorry, CR 191303-I, the state of Texas versus Juan David Lara Torres. Mr. Lara, can you please turn on your camera, sir?
Oh man, he's right there. Let's see.
There he is. Can you unmute yourself, sir? Okay. Mr. Lara, can you hear me?
Perdón.
Oh, okay. Ms. Castaneda, can you please ask Mr. Lara if he can hear us?
Mr. Lara, ¿nos escucha?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Lopez, the PTD application and all the required documents were submitted on what date?
July 20th.
Okay. So now they're under review. Do you show them accepted yet, Mr. Wind, on your end?
We thought we accepted it, and now we're just waiting for the background checks.
Okay. So then what we'll do is that he's going to be set for a status review on September the 28th at 9:30.
That is September 28th.
Yes, because we're giving the state days right now to review. Okay, Ms. Castaneda, please let Mr. Lara know that he's to return here on September the 28th at 9:30 and to stay in close contact with the attorney.
Mr. Lara.
Dígame.
La próxima corte es el 28 de septiembre a las 9:30 de la mañana. Y por favor,
Okay.
tengan comunicación con su abogado.
Okay.
Okay, anything else, Mr. Lopez?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Then, Ms. Castaneda, you can let Mr. Lara know that he is.
Mr. Lara se puede retirar.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Buen día, señor juez.
Igualmente. Okay, Mr. Reyes, are you ready for us? Not yet. Okay. Deputy, who do we have left with you?
We have Avitia Santos. And
Okay.
Corral.
Okay, Mr. Santos Avitia Jr. was reset to August the 5th at 1:30.
Yes, Your Honor.
And who else did you say?
Corral.
Judge, I didn't catch that name.
Me either.
It's under, I think, AK under Spears.
Okay, yes, give me 1 second. That case, Judge, was reset, but let me get the date for you.
Oh, Miss Spears, right?
Yes.
So you still, I believe it was because there was a felony pending still.
August the 26th, Your Honor, at 1:30. This particular case, Judge, wasn't removed because the defendant has two names.
Right.
Yes, ma'am. So it is August the 26th. That's the date that the other companion case is set for.
Okay. And also, I think have they already, is the felony still in intake?
Let me check on that, Judge. I do believe that it hasn't been processed.
Mr. Nguyen, do you know?
Let me check on that, Judge, real quick. Felony sets for soft status, Judge.
The felony is being set for status as well?
Yes, Judge.
On what date?
On August 23rd.
Oh, okay. Okay, then we're gonna have you come back, Ms. Spears, on August 6th at 1:30, I apologize, so that we can hear both of your cases at the same time.
Okay, Your Honor, may I?
Yes. Yes.
Can I get a PR bond at this time?
Well, the thing is that you have your felony pending. So I'm not sure what they have that set up for you.
Like, or a bond reduction, because I was in Bravo when I got beat up for not being under supervision by the department.
I don't know, what's the bond on the felony?
I see 15,000.
Yeah. So you have a bond on the felony of 15,000.
Well, can you do a bond reduction on that one?
I don't have jurisdiction over your felony case. I'm sorry.
Because I've been trying to contact the attorney, but he never showed up over here so I could talk to him.
Who is the attorney of record on your felony?
Jose Bravo or?
Mr. Bravo's also handling the felony from the public defender's office?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, we'll make sure to let Mr. Bravo know
Okay.
that you're trying to contact him. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Then we'll see you on August the 26th at 1:30.
Okay. So I got court August 26th and the 23rd.
Yes, but the 23rd's on your felony.
Okay.
Judge,
Yes.
ma'am, I wanted to see if I can get a bond reduction. I haven't getting any of my medication. I'm a psych patient. I go to Tropical, Dr. Matos, and South Texas Behavioral. I just want to say, it's just high. I can't afford the 10 grand right now. If you can reduce it, maybe I can bond out so I can get my meds. I couldn't get a hold of my attorney.
Yeah, your attorney, I'm not sure why, but requested for you to be reset to August the 5th at 1:30. He's the only one that can do the bond reduction.
Okay.
I mean, we'll go ahead and as a courtesy, let him know that you're looking for him so he can do the bond reduction for you, okay?
Okay.
That's all we have for you this afternoon, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Deputy. You take care.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Reyes, are you ready?
Good afternoon, Judge. Yes, I have number 57.
Okay, that is CR 1911113-I, State of Texas versus Fernando Fernandez. Mr. Fernandez, please turn on your camera. Is he English speaking or Spanish speaking?
English, Judge.
Okay, there you go. Okay, and what is your announcement, counselor?
Judge, in this case, my client was accepted onto the pretrial diversion program. I understand he was on it, but I understand the state is making an allegation. I don't know what the allegation is, but there's an allegation that he failed to comply with the conditions of his pretrial diversion.
Okay.
And so I would like to know what allegation it is and possibly to see if there's any, what I'm understanding from my client, I don't know if that was having to do with it, whether it was a drug violation or what it was, but, or technical, but if it was something that can be cured and they can work with him, that's what I would request to give him another chance if there is, but I don't even know what they're alleging.
Okay, Mr. Nguyen, do you know what the allegation is?
Yes, Judge, the defendant failed repeatedly after we requested him to do his UA, but he hasn't been doing his UA. His UA,
And what date was he supposed to go in for his UA?
Ms. Soto.
Judge, if I may, he was supposed to be here when he was asked in court, you advised him to be here on June the 24th to report for drug test. He called me on the 23rd that he was really sick. So I've been calling him, Judge, July 12th, July 13th, sending him text messages to report, and he failed to report for the drug test, Judge. He has not returned any of my phone calls or text messages.
So Mr. Reyes, it just seems like Mr. Fernandez is avoiding that UA. So he's probably not ready to be placed on any program if he can't comply with the simple request of just going and peeing in a cup. So I'm going to give you some time to talk to him about his other options, because I seriously doubt PTD is on the table anymore.
Understood, Your Honor.
Okay, so how much time do you need, Mr. Reyes?
Judge, 30 days should be sufficient, Your Honor.
So are they gonna, is he already on the program or you're asking for
I
removal?
believe that he was already accepted and he's already on the program, so, you know, it's like you said, if we have to go another
Yeah,
round,
so then it'll be removal from the program and see what it is that you want.
right, I mean, I guess I would say if he's gonna be removed, I would ask the court to consider deferred. If he was placed on the program, I understand that he must not have, you know, criminal history and things like that.
The thing is like, it just doesn't look favorable on him to not be showing up at any time. So, you know, that makes me think that perhaps he wasn't gonna be testing clean. And even if I give him more time, I mean, it's either gonna allow him to get clean or I mean, the only way that I would even allow him, if the state is in agreement, is if he shows up within the next 2 hours to take that UA. So, Mr.
I
Fernandez,
don't know if he's in the county, but.
where are you? Are you in Hidalgo County right now, Mr. Fernandez?
No, ma'am.
What county are you in?
I'm in Cameron County. I moved because I got evicted from my house because of when I caught COVID. I wasn't able to make any money and I wasn't able to come up with the rent, and I was already falling behind and I got evicted from over there.
Yeah, he's had some issues. If the court would be willing to work with him, I think that, you know, if we could just give him maybe a couple of weeks.
But it's
a drug test and.
That's not it. The thing is that they have worked with him. It's been almost 30 days. He was supposed to show up on June 24th. And from June 24th to today, it's been almost 30 days and he never went in. He still could have had any opportunity to go in between now and then I may have even accepted a late test. But with him not going, I mean, and I'm not going to ask him to incriminate himself or make a statement, you know, whether he thinks he's clean or not clean. I'm not going to ask him that. That's a conversation for you two to have with an attorney-client privilege. But, you know, he's not going to, if he couldn't comply with a simple UA in 30 days. I don't know. I mean, and Mr. Fernandez, what are you know, you can't make it from Cameron County here in hours. And even if I give you till tomorrow, are you going to be able to come in tomorrow to take your UA?
Well, that's the other thing that I was gonna mention right now. Due to the fact that I got evicted, I got my car repoed. I actually don't have a car right now, and my kids, I wasn't able to support my children because I don't know if you were aware, I have full custody of my children. and I wasn't able to take care of him, and I technically became unsupportive. So I sent them off with their mom. My kids left as well. They're in Arkansas right now with their mother. So a lot has been happening. It's just it feels like a lot of problems
I,
piling up, and then
yeah, and I understand right now, I'm sure you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders. But unfortunately, this isn't going to go away. And now you're telling me that you don't have a job, or have you found a job?
no, I've actually been looking. I've been cutting grass here and there, but it's not too fast. It's actually really slow. The money that I did have, I had to give it to the my kid's grandma, because she was the one that actually took my children over there to Arkansas. And
Judge, what
we're on
about a
an
local Cameron County lab?
I mean, we can do that too.
that will be easier. Yes.
Okay. And if I allow you to test, tomorrow, are you able to get to the lab there in Cameron County? But it has to be tomorrow.
Probably tomorrow. I'm not able to. No, I'm not able to do it.
Mr. Reyes, I can't. It gives them 24 hours to find somebody to take them to a.
What is it, Mr. Fernandez? What is it that you have tomorrow?
Well, I have a few yards that I have to cut that I already scheduled, and actually I don't have any relatives here. My mom is in Chicago. My sister's she's married with her husband. She's open Corpus, and other than that, I have an elderly uncle.
How would you make? I mean, you have to make transportation arrangements somehow to get somewhere.
Yes.
I mean, Mr. Fernandez, we can only do so much. The rest of it, you have to do for yourself. I understand that you're in a difficult situation, but I certainly can't go and pick you up and take you. Your attorney's not going to be doing that either. I mean, you have to do something for yourself. And unfortunately, you're running out of options. I mean, I said, come today before 5. If you're in the county, you're not in the county. Come tomorrow within 24 hours in the local agency there, and you can't do it. I mean, you telling me that you can't do it is just continue. It reinforces that you're not going to be clean when you come, and if you don't have money to support your children, and you don't have money to be doing other things and putting a roof over your head, you certainly shouldn't have any money to be having any extracurricular activities either. Okay. So you're going to have to get with your attorney to see what it is that you're going to do, but you are not going to remain on PTD because you can't even do the UA. So, and that's super, super simple. All it is just coming in for literally less than 15 minutes and getting it done, and that's it. And you're tying your attorney's hands because he worked out a very sweet deal for you, very sweet, and you're not being able to take advantage of it. And there's nothing more that we can do about it. You've been given more than 30 days or about 30 days. And then I'm also giving you an additional day, and I'm letting you do it out of town. I mean, I can't do it any more than that. So.
Well, I mean, I guess if we're able to do that for tomorrow, I could do that, but I can't afford it. I mean, if that's what it is, I can't pay for it.
The UA?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the fee for the UA for them to do it?
Here, I believe it's $20, Judge. I wouldn't know Cameron, but I would guess it's around that. I'm not entirely sure.
The court is gracious enough to allow Mr. Fernandez that opportunity to present himself within 24 hours. I would definitely instruct him to do that. And that's
well, I'm going to give him an opportunity to figure out how he can get to that lab. He's going to have to talk to Ms. Soto as to the proper chain of command to do that, the UA in Cameron County, so that they can arrange for those results to be submitted to their probation department. So you have until tomorrow at the time that the facility closes, well, at the end of business day, which is 5 p.m., to figure out how you're going to do that.
Okay.
Now,
no,
Mr.
I mean, yes,
what is your phone number?
It's 956-226-8255. 6515.
Okay, and that's your last opportunity. So I'm gonna have him come back on August the 5th at 9:30 for a status. And
Okay,
at that
perfect.
point, either he did the UA and he's gonna be ready for placement, or he didn't, and you're gonna figure out another avenue.
That sounds great, Judge.
That's the best I can do, sir.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it.
Okay, so if nothing further, we'll see you on that date.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Certainly may.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, Ms. Corina Gonzalez, who is your attorney now?
Judge, she's not a defendant, she's a victim actually on a case. that she
On
was-
what case?
On, number 3, Judge. I believe that one had a waiver of arraignment, what I heard. I
Okay,
walked in.
he filed a waiver of arraignment on those two. There was probably some misunderstanding because they had also filed a waiver of arraignment on his DWI, but submitted no proof. That waiver of arraignment was rejected, so they should have appeared today. What I'm gonna do is, let's go ahead and reset all three of those cases for August the 5th at 1:30. And if we can notify Ms. Diaz that it will only be necessary if she doesn't submit proof. If she submits proof, then she doesn't have to show up. And we'll give her a new status date.
Well, Judge, doesn't she need to appear for the victim testimony? Ms. Gonzalez is the victim.
Okay, but the victim on what? The involving damage to
trespass.
vehicle?
The criminal trespass, Judge.
Okay, and what does she want? Is she gonna be dropping the charges or what?
Yes, Judge, she already filed the AMT and now we're just taking victim testimony.
Okay, so you want to take her testimony at this time?
Yes.
Okay, that'll be CR 20-6902-I, the state of Texas versus Antonio Enrique Contreras for the offense of criminal trespass, a Class B misdemeanor. Ms. Gonzalez, please raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, I can't hear you. Raise your volume because it does say that you do not have mute on. Okay, can you hear me now? No volume, still nothing. Raise the phone volume on the side of your phone. Can you hear me? Raise the volume on the side of the phone. You might have to log off and log back in. Okay, she's probably gonna try to log back in. In the meantime, let me go ahead and call CR 21-04111-I, the state of Texas versus Jose Angel Bravo. Mr. Bravo, will you please turn on your camera? Okay.
So sorry, I'm all dirty. I just got out of work, or I'm
Okay.
here at work right now.
Okay, Mr. Sanchez, what is your announcement on, for arraignment?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor. He's set for arraignment. Sergio Sanchez on Mr. Bravo's behalf. It's a DWI case where President is a waiver of the reading of the information and complaint. And he's confident, Your Honor, he's going to plead not guilty, ask for pretrial trial settings.
Okay, and who does he have? Do you have a mobile or an interlock device, Mr. Bravo?
This is the first time I've actually spoken to any type of judge since my arrest in the city jail. They skipped me for some reason and they just sent me straight to county. In county, I didn't get to speak to a judge either. I just got bonded out. So I haven't been told to, this is the first time I'm talking to anybody on my case. I don't know what to do. If I need a device, I can definitely get one, but
Please listen to the judge.
Okay.
She's about to order something on your behalf. I mean, you either have a device or you don't. Sounds like you don't.
No, I
Okay.
don't.
Yes,
So
sir.
then, Mr. Bravo, you are ordered to have a mobile monitoring device. Well, we lost him. Okay, he's ordered to get a mobile monitoring device, Mr. Sanchez, and he has
Yes.
48 hours to obtain that device.
Understood, Judge.
Okay.
And I hope the
And it's-
court was able to take my waiver of the arraignment on the record for him.
Yes. Now it's 48 business hours because I know it's tomorrow and I do not know if they're open on Saturdays. And so if they are open on Saturdays, Saturdays counts. If they're not, then he has to do it by Monday, okay?
And you're ordering the mobile device?
Yes.
Understood, Your Honor.
Do you happen to have a phone number with you? I don't know if you have his file with you.
Judge, I don't. I just got out of federal court, so I was also going to thank the court for recalling the case. I had in person with Judge Micaela Alvarez. So
Okay.
my phone was off for a while, but we'll get the information to him, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Soto, you don't have anything for him, do you, for a phone number?
I can check on Odyssey, Judge, and see if a phone number comes up.
Okay, if he comes back on, we'll go ahead and let him back in, Mr. Sanchez, to get the phone number. And if not, if you can just notify him.
Your Honor, and I'm appointed counsel. My experience is on the order of appointment. Its address should be on there as well as his phone number.
Okay, and sir, you also have Arnulfo Fernandez, Mario Arnulfo Fernandez Cantu. Those were set for pleas this afternoon.
Your Honor, those have been reset to August the 5th. I was in contact with Mr. Sanchez's office this morning.
Okay. Okay, and so I believe that takes care of everything for you today, Mr. Sanchez.
Yes, Your Honor. Is there going to be a pretrial setting for Mr. Bravo?
No, I'm gonna give you a status setting.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're gonna do September the 9th at 9:30. And just remind your client that between now and then, I will be requesting his report. Okay,
Understood, Your Honor.
okay, if nothing further, you're excused, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, have a good day.
Yes, ma'am. Same.
Okay, let me see if Ms. Gonzalez was able to reconnect. She has 2 devices now.
I'm back.
Okay, now I can hear you. Perfect. Ms. Gonzalez.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My phone speaker didn't work, so I had to switch phones with my son to be able to connect. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Nguyen, go on.
Yes. What is your relationship with the defendant?
He is my son.
Okay. What happened on March 27, 2020?
That day my son arrived. He had been out and he came home under the influence. And he does not live with me. He lives on his own apartment. And when he knocked on the door, I noticed that he was under the influence. And I told him he was not allowed to come into my home while he was under that state. And I closed the door. And he kept knocking and knocking and knocking, and I kept telling him to please leave. He wouldn't leave, so what I did, I called the cops. They came, and I asked him if they could please ask him to remove from my property, and that he could come back when he was on a well state, but not like that. The cops did tell him to go home. He lives down the street where he rents, and he did. He left to his apartment. The cops followed him and told him, look, if you go again to your mom's house and she calls us, we are going to come and take you. You need to not go back. Sleep it off. Just don't go back. He came back later that day. And again, he was asking me to open the door, that he wanted to come inside. And I kept telling him, no, not like that. Not while you're under the influence. You are not allowed inside my home. That time he went and sat under a tree that's in our yard, and he still wouldn't leave. He was just, he wasn't threatening or no, he was just, Mom, please let me in. Please let me in. At that time, I called the cops again, and that's when he was removed from the property. But that's been, ever since that incident, there's been no more incidents. He did come back afterwards and apologize to me and my family. And we've had no problems since that incident.
Did you sign an affidavit of non-prosecution with the DA's office?
Yes, sir. I went to the office that's across from the courthouse, and I did sign a paper.
And do you wish to drop charges against the defendant?
I do not wish to press charges, sir. No.
So you wish to drop charges?
I'm going to drop them. Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, the court will accept her testimony and will allow for this to be dismissed administratively. So I'm gonna set a tickler for August the 6th.
Well, Judge, for that one, the defendant still has to take a life skill
He
class.
has to be arraigned. That's
Yeah.
right. Okay, well, we're gonna do that August the 5th at 1:30. Because he has not been arraigned. He did waivers for 2, but he needs to be arraigned on that other one. Okay, so we'll see him at that time, but Ms. Gonzalez, you don't have to do anything anymore.
Okay, ma'am. And I just want to say, Judge, that he's doing good. He's a full-time employee. He has his own apartment, his own vehicle. It was just a bad decision that he did that day.
Yes, ma'am. Well, best of luck to your family.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Take care.
Likewise. Bye-bye.
Okay, so in reviewing the docket, did anyone call in on number 22?
Number 22, Judge.
Andy, how do I leave?
No, Judge, but I do see there's a recommendation. I'm not sure if he completed that anger management course or that alcohol course.
For that one, he did not finish alcohol. I don't see the certificate on file.
Okay. I'm not sure why they did not show up. So set them for a status.
Yes, ma'am.
On August the 19th at 9:30. And number 23 and 24 and 25.
Judge, those are set for August the 5th at 1:30.
Okay. Okay, and how about the last one, 59?
Let me double check, Judge, if there's a reset date on this one, but last time I checked, I didn't see it. I may be incorrect. No, Judge, no. He was placed on PTD, Judge, in March of this year. And the state was requesting a removal
And I think it was removed last setting, and now this is gonna be this, plea on another, like a plea
He
on,
was gonna plea.
yes, Judge.
I wonder if Mr. Martinez forgot.
Yeah, that's not really like him.
No, at all. Okay, or unless the gentleman decided not to plead for whatever reason, I don't know. But either way, we can set him for a status on August the 19th at 9:30, and if they choose to be placed back on the plea docket, they can just let you know.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It looks like that takes care of everybody. This concludes our afternoon criminal docket for Thursday, July 22nd, 2021. We are now off